games.
Yeah.
They are trying to
put the pressure on Egypt.
Put the pressure on Egypt, talk about security, try to distract attention here and there.
So that everybody will really be focused on the game.
Absolutely. I think that's what they are looking for. But I think they should go to Cairo and
okay, we'll talk about that later on. Guarantees have come from Egypt that there won't be any problem around that game. But the Ghanaians still want something more. So we'll talk about it because this weekend as well, we'll be having the second leg of the CAF Champions League. It's also going to be in Egypt. They are not going to be able to use the bigger stadium in Cairo. They have to use the Arab Contractor Stadium, and that is already generating plenty of controversy because the condition of the playing surface at that Arab Contractor Stadium is not top-notch. And the two teams are already complaining that, look, what kind of football are we going to be playing?
Well, I think the team from South Africa, Orlando Pirates, should just go there and play because, for me...
I think it's advantage Orlando Pirates.
Absolutely.
Play on the bumpy pitch. All right, we'll talk about that as we go on the show as well tonight. So in between all of this, we will update you exactly with what is going on around the UEFA Champions League. But let's start off the show on these notes. Talk about the Golden Eagles. We want to start off the show the way we ended it yesterday, and that's talk about Golden Eagles. They have done us proud. They are in the final of the FIFA Under-17 World Cup, and they've done it in such a convincing manner. The stories around them, how well they've played, it's been heartwarming. But, gentlemen, President Goodluck Jonathan has come into the picture once again. President Goodluck Jonathan has told these boys, look, you have won nothing yet. People do not remember those who finish in second place most of the time. Go get the ultimate prize.
Yeah, I don't expect nothing less from the president. Trying to psych these players. They are young players. When your president is asking you, to win the trophy, telling you that the support of the whole nation, the whole nation is behind this team. I think they don't need another, kind of motivation to win this game. But I also want to fault the issue of whether playing second or not. I think this team has done well.
Whether they
finish second or first, it should not be the issue. They have done well. The players have done, very well under the circumstances they have found themselves. And everything is moving well. The weather there is almost like the weather in Nigeria.
A lot hotter than weather in Nigeria anyway. So it's advantage Nigeria.
Absolutely. So I think
whether the boys don't need water break.
Whether they win or not, these players should be celebrated. They should be celebrated.
But Tunde, we'll begin to see pictures of some of their games now, so that we can really talk about how well they were, particularly in that last game against Sweden, the 3-0 whitewash of Sweden. But people have asked a few questions. What extra can these boys bring to the team? What extra do we expect to see on Friday? Is there anything extra? People have sort of called this team a perfect team. So what extra do you want to see in these boys on Friday?
Honestly, I can't think of anything else that these players haven't done or haven't produced, given the circumstances that they found themselves. We've seen them rescue a game from being 2 goals down
in the first 20 minutes.
The first 20 minutes to pull in a very creditable 3-3 draw. We've seen them absolutely obliterate a team that was one of the most highly rated coming into this competition. We've seen them completely decimate
and they make it look so
opponents
simple
at will. We've seen them play some scintillating football. We've seen their beautiful transition from defense to our midfield to attack. We've seen their ability to switch formations almost seamlessly within games. I've seen them play almost 3 different formations within the same game. Credit to excellent coaching that they received. So the only thing that we could possibly see is maybe another Taiwo Awoniyi, maybe a player that we haven't seen before. Maybe people have talked about Habib Amakonjola, players who haven't really gotten a run out in this competition. But if a team is playing so well, why change it? Why risk everything in the final? So I'm really, really at a loss to see what this team...
The only team that can beat this Nigerian team is this team.
Yeah, I think they will have themselves to blame.
They are the only one that can beat themselves.
Psychologically,
if they become complacent.
Psychologically, they have the edge over Mexico.
Having won the first game.
Won the first game. But
that
in itself could be another problem.
Because when you play the same team 2 times in a tournament, there's a possibility that now know how to play against you, they're better organized, and they
Yeah, it worked well for Sweden.
Yeah, they said
And Sweden was a draw. They were almost beating us.
But it didn't work well for Sweden.
They were the ones almost beating
They
us.
could say that, okay, after almost beating Nigeria, this time we can finish the job. But it didn't work out for them.
No, at any rate, we should get against complacency. Like it happened against France. I think
Trinidad and Tobago?
with Trinidad and Tobago, we beat them
In the group
stage.
But we made them again.
Made them again, and they beat us. I think the coach should just tell the players that game is.
We've
gone.
never played before. Forget about
Absolutely,
the 6-1.
Absolutely, and just face the final. 90 minutes, total concentration. The way they have been playing, these boys, have shown a lot of flair, and I think for the coach, it's just a question of bringing up some magic in the final. That element of surprise, because at this stage now, every of our opponents will astray the team. And that's what the Mexicans are going to do. So that element of surprise, coming up with something that the opponent cannot predict, will get us the trophy.
And if it supports, this team is not lacking support at all.
Absolutely.
It's like they're playing their games at home.
You know how many Nigerians are in the United Arab Emirates
It's like they're playing at home.
supporting them. So if it supports, they won't lack support at all. Also, the nationals of the United Arab Emirates have also taken them to heart as well. A lot of them have adopted them as their team. So if it supports in that final, they won't lack for it. Everything now depends on how well they can navigate the Mexican hurdle on Friday.
And that's the final order. All right, tomorrow, we told you this yesterday, that tomorrow, Thursday, that's the eve of the final match of the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. We will be doing a special preview edition on Sports Tonight. We will look at the games this team played up to the final game. We will look at it, talk to a few people, possibly also take you to the United Arab Emirates and listen to some of the coaches of the team. Talk to us on what to expect on Friday in the final game. So tomorrow, make sure you don't miss Sports Tonight. We'll be giving you a special preview edition of the show, and it will be focused on the FIFA Under-17 World Cup final, Nigeria against Mexico. All right, let's move on very quickly and take a look at what you have on your screen. That's the bit of news that is coming in right now, news flash, and that's a very sad story about a referee dying during the Cooper test in Abuja today, and that's the story you see on your screen. Tragedy hit the refereeing family in Nigeria this afternoon in Abuja when Lagos State-based referee Osita Nwadashi slumped and died during the fitness test organized for referees. I think it's usually at the end of the season. You have to pass this test to be registered as a referee and be allowed to refer games in the next season. Unfortunately, Nwadashi passed on during that Cooper test. He officiated in the National League last season. He was from Delta State, based in Lagos. So Lagos State has lost one of his referees. Lagos, has a history of producing excellent referees. Unfortunately, Osita Nwadachi has slumped and died, and that's something that is not new. It's like a regular occurrence every year during the Cooper test. 2-3 referees like that just fail to make it and pay the ultimate price.
Well, Tony, I've been following this story since it emerged this morning, and particularly I want to comment on what an official of the NFF said this thing has been happening all the time.
Every year.
And that there was a referees review panel when it happened the last time. They made
there was a year we lost about 3 or even 4 referees.
Yeah, where they made some recommendations, and those recommendations were not implemented to the latter. I think those comments are hogwash, because when they reacted on the LMC and other issues, they were not prompted. The referees, the NFF, the referees committee is under the Nigerian Football Federation.
They are an affiliate.
No Nigerian should be allowed to embark on a suicide mission. You know the issue? If you give a Nigerian who have a medical facility money, they go for money, even when they are sick. But you have to enforce it. You have to enforce it.
Yes, there must be some pre-test before the main test.
Yes, they must make sure that
minimum requirements
for Cooper test should come with comprehensive medical report. And if in doubt, they should verify. Or even use...
Or conduct your own report right there.
Alhaji Ahmed Maude would disagree with you. They will tell you that these referees are subjected to periodic tests during the course of the season.
Because refereeing is intensive.
During the course of the season, that these things are just do we say force majeure?
But it happens every year.
It just happens.
It has stopped being force majeure today because
my
it
problem
happens
is this.
every year. Every year.
You don't hear it happen in other leagues.
Absolutely.
Why does it always occur in the Nigerian league?
Because
Is it that maybe some of these referees falsify their medical reports?
Now
Is it that they hide the true status of their health?
It could be possible because Onye says if you are